Let's start. Okay, before we get started, just keep two things in mind always. What I say in every video, if you already know it, you can skip it. First is DSA questions are not very hard by nature. What makes them hard is not knowing the trick behind them. And if we know the trick, the problem becomes easy. Else, life is a little hard. And second, if you ever feel stuck on a question, don't beat yourself, especially when you are new to the DSA or new to a particular topic, it's completely okay to watch the solution first, which will help you to recognize those patterns and build your intuition. So be kind to yourself and trust the process and keep going. So as always, we'll begin by understanding the question, what's given to us and what we need to find out. So let's understand the requirement first. And the question says is like set matrix 0. So given an m into n integer matrix, if an element is 0, set the entire row and the column to as zeros. Okay, as you can see in the example, we have only one cell as 0, but in the result, we are making the whole row and column as 0. This is the exact input, and that's the output, in which we are making uh, the rows and columns to the 0, if initially that particular cell is 0. So hope you understood the question, and if not, feel free to pause the video and take your own time. Okay, so now let's see how we can approach it. So can we say that while traversing each cell in the matrix, whenever we encounter 0, we would set the start of that row and the start of that column to 0. And what I mean by that is, let's take an example. As we can see, here is the 0. In that case, we can set the start of that row to 0 and the start of that column to 0. So, and at last, we will just traverse each cell and check whether the start of that row and column of that cell is 0 or not. If it is 0, we will make that particular cell as 0. And likewise, we will do it for each cell. Yeah, that's all. There is a small catch also. So we will traverse the cells of the first row and the first column at last always. Because if we traverse it first, then the entire matrix could become also 0. So to avoid it, we will maintain two flags, one for the first row, another for the first column, and we would set it to true if we found any 0 in the first row and first column. And based on that, we will make the entire first row and first column to 0 at last. Okay, so let's visualize the logic. So yeah, we have the code snippet handy with us, and let's see line by line what we are doing here. So we are declaring the matrix. Here we have 0 on the first row and the first column, means one by one. And we are maintaining two flags for first row and first column. We'll traversing each cell one by one and checking whether it contains 0 or not. So if we encounter 0 on the first row or first column, we'll update the flag and set the start of that particular row and start of that particular column as 0. Okay. And at last, we'll traverse all the cells except for the first row and the first column and check whether that start of that particular row and column is 0 or not. If it is 0, we will update that cell to 0. And at last, based on the flag, we'll update the first row and the first column to 0 if we found that we have a 0 on the first row and first column. So yeah, so that's all. You can analyze it, take your own time, and in case you have some doubts, feel free to reach out in comments.